And we're back once again, with Alex periodically staring at the ceiling. I've discovered the best way to record this is at night with the lights off after last session, wherein I discovered that by removing all the bright contrast in my room, I can actually see. Go figure. Yes. Should Alex try to survey the area? She has picked up the ability to look at walls and go, "That doesn't look stable," from Roberto. An unseen force guides Alex's hand towards the painting, compelling her to look behind it. She reaches out and pulls back the painting and discovers a chapter page hidden behind it. Should we take the chapter page? Well, duh. A sense of familiarity overcomes her, and the chapter page comes to her fingers. So does the realization that Roberto's spirit is aiding her. Shush, Roberto, you're not useful to anyone. A war to end all wars.
The Black Guardian grows restless, my liege. Its hunger increases, and the binding continues to weaken. We feed it flesh, but I fear it will not guard the relic too much longer.
There is no choice in the matter. It must remain and guard the artifact until the time of planetary alignment. After that, the Guardian may return to its lair. Our master does not like failure. It is imperative to keep the binding intact.
Then we have to find more flesh and bone.
I like how Pius's general attitude there is, "Oh, leave me alone, these corpses aren't going to ritually desecrate themselves." But anyway, that's all for this intermission section. We're going right into the chapter.
The war to end all wars redefined how mankind looked at war and the value of human life. Over 19,000 men lost their lives every day in the trenches of the Somme. Some say uselessly, some invoke a higher cause. I read accounts of the slaughter from many journalists who spent time in the trenches, but I found the account of a certain Peter Jacob to be the most horrible of all. His implication about the ancients' involvement with the war was hideous and so obvious. With the horror of the Battle of the Somme scant miles away and the distant echoes of pounding artillery, a young journalist named Peter Jacob researched his latest story from the front lines. His grim task brought him to Oubliette Cathedral, now transformed into a field hospital.
I find no solace in the purpose behind all the senseless violence that surrounds me. Young men die at a rate unheard of in centuries of warfare. Shelling, machine guns, mustard gas, rip, pierce, and burn to flesh. Men soak gauze in their own urine to stop the insidious gas. The hospitals here cannot cope with the torrent of wounded.
And now we are Peter Jacobs, a British reporter in the Oubliette Cathedral. See what we've got. A lucky penny, flash powder, and a flash pan. Oh yeah, why would he have weaponry? Oh right, stuff. Here's stuff. Ah. Soldier's letter. Yeah, we're just taking people's stuff. First letter from Private Reginald Jackson to his love, Margaret. I was admitted to this hospital on Tuesday. The damage caused to my legs was slight, but there is no way I could ever walk normally again. I hate this place. Every day I am reminded that I will never be able to do the things I love. The hospital is a very strange place. Converted from an old cathedral, there is an odd atmosphere about it. Silent, but for the words of the wounded calling out in the night. There is no doubt it is haunted. What I find most odd about in this place is that you never see anyone leave during the day. It's not right. No goodbyes or farewells, just an empty bed when you wake. You know, we can probably ascertain from what we know what's going on. But we'll leave it to Peter to find out on his own. Covered with blood-stained sheets, these poor souls have passed from this world. For them, the suffering is over, but for those around them, the ordeal continues. A war so horrible, we'll never have another one. At least that was the hope at the time. Come on, nurse. With a motherly voice, the nurse advises that Peter get some rest. The soldier looks rather distressed. Perhaps he has lost a lot of friends to the trenches of the Somme. He confides that the only stories are sad ones, and that the only true heroes are in the mortuary. The huge cathedral area seems pretty laggy, or at least slower than usual. The altar is cleared of all valuables, not only to prevent looting, but also to afford space for medical supplies and even an operating table should the need arise. I'm hoping it's just because they've modified this area so much from the previous version, as opposed to actual problems I'm gonna have. We'll see when I get to another room. The guard quietly but strongly points out that the area is off limits to civilians. Yeah, well. The guard frowns and ushers Peter away from the organ. He explains that it is one of the few antiques in the region that has so far survived the war, and that while he's alive, it will remain intact. Ah. Let's check that area that I couldn't find last time. And apparently cannot get into this time, because I went to bed wrong. Oh, found something. A sealed envelope that seems to have been left behind. Soldier's orders. No official note on Army Regulation Stationery. The note reads, Private Thompson, by order of Lieutenant Hargraves, on behalf of HRH George 5, you are to leave your post of duty and rally in the street outside Oubliette Cathedral. Further orders will be presented at the rallying point. God save the King! This begs the question, is one of these two soldiers Private... what's his name? Indeed. Nope. No, catch your breath, Peter. There's a lot of running back and forth left to do. Well, this is new. There used to be a door here, didn't there? An odd collection of colored lines decorate the wall. Below the design, steps appear to lead up into the wall, going nowhere. Now, it's fairly obvious what that is there, but we've got a couple problems. The first is we don't have the tome, and the second is that's a 7-point circle spell, which means we couldn't dispel it even if we had the tome. Problems I'm sure we remedied in this chapter, of course. Abruptly, the guard asks if Peter has clearance for the old tower, as this was a restricted area. No. Are you this guy? Nope. Orders! Orders! Random orders for people! It's gotta be all the stuff that's going on in this room, with the multiple characters, and the shelling, and the... With the war being so close, a curfew has been imposed. Traveling outside the hospital is not a safe thing to do, since intruders will likely be shot on sight. Peter decides to remain inside. What a wise man! Oh. The guard shifts about, obviously bored with his duty and awaiting a replacement, or perhaps a call to arms. Is he here? The guard unfolds the orders and begins to read them before exclaiming, "Bloody hell, lad! We must be on the offensive!" Following the orders, he takes leave of his post. Nice written accent there. It's a gun! And they just had to tell us that they have bigger guns. I can't see anything. Oh. Well, at least we get some light now. Walk the walk. And say hello to our new friend, Roberto Bianchi. Lies, he never looked that dignified. Of course. Now that we've got all that, I think we should upgrade our shield. You may have noticed that didn't really take a huge chunk out of his magic bar. That's because Peter is pretty impressive in terms of MP. And he's now got a magic gun. Where'd he purchase that? And look at the glow on this thing. Ah, bugger. Bonethieves are hard to hit with guns. That being the case, we are... Is that something? We are just going to not fight. Something else. I've been here for over a week now, and there is no word when I will be allowed to leave. Strange things have happened. At night the sounds of the hospital change. Echoes of voices that don't belong to anyone haunt the halls and corridors. The restless whispers of ghosts, perhaps, or sounds of movement, or whispers. I have seen war firsthand, and the sounds at night in this hospital scare me more than I ever thought possible. What is going on here at night? Why do I feel so threatened? My fears are worsened by the talk of the other young soldiers. One said he had heard cries for help in the middle of the night, cries that were only answered by snarls of rage and not compassion. Another said Lance Corporal Haskill has not been discharged, but gone missing. I stare at his empty bed with a sense of unholy dread gnawing at my heart. Oh, come on. Can't we have the Silent Hill naughty nurses instead of the Bone Thief infested naughty nurses? Looks odd the way the light sourcing works, I guess. Hello, Mr. Bone Thief. I'm not particularly sure we're ever going to see you again. That did work, eh? Yeah, this is just annoying to fight in. There are things coming after me out there. Is that Anthony? No, that's not Anthony. Stupid lack of light. Alright, we are catching our breaths. I can't even see why I can't go somewhere. There we go. Now we've got a magic gun. Stand up there. Revolver ammo. Can't see anything. Rifle ammo. desk kept meticulously clean. Peter is surprised that it is not more chaotic for a frontline hospital. After all, isn't this where the death certificates are written? Clearly not. The workings of the pipe organ have remained mostly the same since installation. Originally, the bellows were driven manually. Now they are steam-powered and the organ controlled electrically. This might be one of the oldest restored pipe organs in the world. Old, rusty, but faithful for many years, a coal-burning boiler provides heat and steam to the cathedral complex. There is currently no pressure being diverted to the generator. Should we turn the wheel? Yes. Mostly because it's doing something. The door is unlocked, but won't open, as if there's a large object on the other side blocking its movement. What's this here? This looks like a small hole. Well, we know what to do with small holes. Let's go with Meaty Trapper. The body of a soldier, a patient from the hospital, lies slumped against the door. Trying to hide from the horror, he had barricaded himself inside the room before succumbing to his wounds. Well, we've got a trapper. They can do that, too. The question is, where's the door? This room is used to store coal for use in the steam boiler that powers the cathedral's generator. Small piles are all that's left, and with an almost endless war, a resupply is a long way off. But what we came in here for? A circle of power. You know what that means? We're gonna have to recast every single spell again to make it 7-star. I'll deal with you later, trappers.
Enter my heart, Xel'lotath heart.
The generator is working, but doesn't appear to be providing power to all the circuits of the cathedral. Perhaps a fuse is blown? There is a lever to switch the generator on and off. Should we pull it? Sure. The sound of metal grating against metal is combined with a hiss of steam, but doesn't appear to have any output of power. Is the circuit broken? Yeah, let's find the fuse box. Perched on the wall beside the generator is an open-face fuse box. A fuse appears to be missing, and there's no sign of where it could be. This is just one of those puzzles that I remember because it's you don't forget it once you know what to do. One of the items Peter came with was a lucky penny. An old coin, marked in a peculiar manner. It has held sentimental value for someone. Whoever holds the penny will undoubtedly receive good fortune. In this case, in a rush of inventiveness, Peter jams the lucky penny in place of the fuse. Amazingly, it works. The fuse has been replaced. I don't know if that would ever work, ever, but... I mean, copper is a conductor, of course, which I think is your clue, really. But considering, I'm not entirely sure that a penny would ever really actually fit. Ah! Well, this will let me show off something interesting. A young man's body lies hunched against the wall of the platform. Blood from the vicious wounds surrounding his face and neck soaks the remnants of what appears to be a uniform with a sickly dark red. Yeah. It sent him here. Ah! I am the greatest at avoiding trappers. Truly, I are Trapper Dodger. Yep, he's still there. A soldier's body lies on the floor. Far from the front line, this poor man met his end. His fate is far removed from his brothers in arms, a victim of the cathedral rather than by bullet or bayonet. I don't believe there's anything in these this time. And that's just him again. Make ourselves a new spell. Protect. Item. Paragon, 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 Paragon. Oh. It's... Paragon, 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 Paragon. Item. There we go. Yep. Long spell, isn't it? Nothing new in here with lighting. We've got such a mess to clean up when we go back upstairs. Yep, let's do it. Whoa! Forgot about that. Did that undo the previous stuff up here? 'Cause I'm not complaining. A piece of very old paper sits on the pipe organ, callously misplaced and forgotten. It's the pipe organ. I think I remember how this goes. It's it's not as great a reward as a circle of power, but up. Ah, trapper, bad trapper. It's really nerve-wracking here with the lag. Get The tabernacle is almost empty of all the things that should be there, such as holy water or other ritualistic items. It's only a door handle lying on the lower shelf. Out of my way! I can't move! I literally can't move! This is... Ah! I have anything? God, he has that. You're telling me I can't get around behind there? At least I knew what this thing does. It stuns enemies. I'm just glad I was able to squeeze out of there. That's it. We are going to learn our spells now, so we can go back up there, decked out, blow away those stupid Bonethieves, and you can just skip to the next video if you don't want to watch me learning how to cast spells and healing Peter here up. Actually, I should probably... well, I'll do that in the next video. I'll start off with the new one. Need mana to cast spells to get mana to bacon and cheeseburgers and... Xel'lotath, why you got me so mana hungry? Yes. When in doubt, cast the spell that regens your mana. Should reload this while we're at it. recall there's a way to get the two-handed sword in this chapter too, but I forget how. I think you might have to rescue an NPC, and we may have screwed that up already, but... Spell 12 we haven't done. Shield. Self. Protect. Spell 9. I think spell 9 is project air. No, that's not it. Reveal invisible. Absorb area. So you were that. Project. Didn't we just do this? No, we didn't. Okay, that's that. I'll show off what's in this spell slot next time on Let's Play Eternal Darkness. Later, everyone.